Guys?
Gentlemen.
Anyone? Gentlemen?
Gentlemen.
Ce monde est d'une cruauté sans nom. Vous combattez les Harkonnens depuis des décennies. Ma famille les combat depuis des siècles. Et elle a été massacrée.
That's the most terrifying and haunting part of it, is it does resonate today.
C'est une des raisons pourquoi je pense que Dune, le roman, devient de plus en plus pertinent.
And I think he believes in many ways it will resonate in thousands of years from now. And this idea that, you know, human beings repeat the pattern and don't quite learn from their mistakes.
C'est une façon de pouvoir aborder ces thèmes avec une distance. On peut parler de religion, de politique, du danger de marier les deux sans froisser personne parce qu'on est dans l'imaginaire.
Ideas of greed, exploiting resources. Honestly, it's like I said, terrifying, right? Because these are people that are supposed to have figured it out, you know, and are supposed to be doing it better, but it's not a utopia in any way.
C'est moi combattre à vos côtés.
Rechargez!
C'est vrai qu'il y a un changement de rythme important entre le premier et le deuxième. C'était conscient. Les deux films ont une nature différente et je savais que dans le deuxième, il fallait que j'aille dans un nouvel espace pour moi, qui était extrêmement stimulant et où il y a eu une accélération. Ça a été très jouissif pour moi d'opérer dans cette nouvelle zone, oui. Comme dans le premier film, la caméra est juste derrière l'épaule d'un jeune homme. Dans la première partie, c'était un vieil adolescent qui découvrait son identité, qui était mis en contact avec une nouvelle culture, découvrait cette culture. C'est un film plus contemplatif, plus méditatif. Mais le deuxième film, cet adolescent devient un jeune homme. On le suit à travers sa découverte de l'amour, dans une relation avec une jeune femme afro-américaine. Il devient un guerriero. C'est vraiment un film plus d'action, mais c'est vraiment, oui, un film sur le passage à l'âge adulte.
I think the first film is more classic coming of age. He sees his first love for the first time. He withstands personal tragedy for the first time. This is a bit more than that, I would say. I would say this is being thrown in a circumstance sort of unimaginable and too big to comprehend.
Je ne me battrai pas pour lui. Je me battrai pour mon peuple.
Annie is the only character who's not contaminated by power. What does it say about her?
This
true.
is very true.
It's true.
Yeah,
You're
and that's why they
right.
keep putting the moral compass on her. Her strength comes also at, I think, a sense of desperation. There's nothing else that she knows how to protect except the ones that she loves. It's all she knows and all she can do. While she might not be a Bene Gesserit and she can't control people's minds, I think her heart is extremely strong, and her passion and her conviction means so much to her. And as an actress, I think it was interesting because it was fun to watch how that and love somehow getting thrown in the middle of that, how those things compete and go up against each other. What she thinks is right, what she feels is right, and then love somehow contaminating those feelings and making it very confusing and difficult for her to kind of find her way. But yeah, I think she's awesome.
Occupez-vous de ce prophète. Envoyez des assassins.
Fade Rota, il est fou allié.
Austin, I read that you discovered the book when you were 15. Did you picture your character, Fedrotha, the way he is portrayed in the movie?
No, I don't think so, actually. Aesthetically, he's sort of described differently in the book, so I think I'd imagine him different in that respect. In this film, he appears... He has more strength and power than I had originally read in the book. Dramatically, I think it works better in the film because then it makes Paul even stronger in those moments, you know, rather than him just being conniving and verbose in the way that he sort of spouts off. And I think he has more of a quiet strength in this film.
You shot the previous movie in the Jordanian desert with extremely high temperature. Was it the same for this second film? Were you prepared?
Yeah, I was more prepared this time and sort of savoring it. I don't think it was as hot this time, if that's the nature of the question. Abu Dhabi as well wasn't as hot. Honestly, Austin had it the worst, I think, in the lunchbox. Yeah, in the Budapest. Yeah. For his gladiator scene. I wasn't there, but actually I noticed it last night.
You see it?
Yeah, the sweat. I mean, not just one, like...
No, it's like a fire hose.
He bends his head
Coming
forward.
out,
Yeah.
It's intense.
I was like...
Yeah, heard the stories.
But I hadn't noticed it. When you said to catch, I thought it was gonna be like a bead.
Yeah.
And you're like waterfalling, you know?
Oh, lots of sweat.
Lots of sweat.
Lots of
sweat.
Still suit sweat.
Lots of body acne. I had being under the suit. You know, it's just trapped in there. Yeah. No, it's not. I mean, it's not the cutest thing, but no, you're so grateful to be there, and that there's really, I mean, being sweaty and, you know, sand and, you know, because everybody kind of is always like, wasn't it so tough and what's so difficult? And of course there's difficult aspects of it, but like I think when you see Denis show up and how excited he is to be there, and that energy just becomes contagious and you're just like, let's do this.
Le verre de sable, c'est la scène la plus complexe que vous ayez jamais tournée. Ça vient du petit Denis, enfant, qui découvre le livre et qui s'est imaginé cette scène à la lecture.
Il y a un peu de ça. Les techniques n'étaient pas vraiment décrites dans le livre, donc il y a toute une recherche que j'ai fait moi-même. Il y a une énergie que je recherchais, une force, une vitesse et un réalisme. J'essaie vraiment de rendre ça possible. C'était très amusant à faire, mais après, elle a expliqué à l'équipe, elle leur a expliqué comment on allait faire ça. Il y a eu un grand silence.
That was one of the most thrilling sequences to shoot. You know, imagine being on a constructed part of a sandworm with sand flying in your face and having real dramatic importance in the movie.
Pas de fantaisie. D'accord, je comprends.
If I someday need to ride a sandworm, what do I need to do?
Strong posture.
Yeah, good footing.
Good footing, good grip in the hands.
Strong wrists.
Strong wrists, I learned.
Some point in the film, Paul has been with the Fremen for some time and he's talking to his dad and he says, "I've found my way." And I was wondering, what was this moment for you? The moment you said, "I found my way. As an actor, I know this is my place. I know this is what I want to do with my life."
That's a great question.
Guys?
Gentlemen?
Anyone? Gentlemen?
Gentlemen?
I started acting very young, and I had many, you know, ups and downs in career and whatnot. Then I did this play with Denzel Washington, and being in the rehearsal room with him, and feeling that process with an actor that I've admired so deeply for so long, who's just a legend, and then being on stage every night, and what I learned through that process, I know that was one of those moments where I thought, oh yeah, this is something I'm gonna do forever. You know, that really changed me.
I'll piggyback on that. It was, for me, same thing, a play in New York called Prodigal Son, and I like Austin put it over the nature of over the weeks of doing the play, night in, night out, and just feeling the creative momentum build and feeling legitimate, not only legitimate, feeling proud of the work I was doing, you know. And then I was like, I wanna do this forever.
The moments come at different times, because I think, I don't know if this is the same for you, I don't think that there's always like one moment where you're like, okay, found my way, I know everything. I think you get lost a lot.
Oh,
and you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I just make believe for a living. Like, and you have all these questions about why you do what you do. I think for me, the validation, the human validation comes when you meet someone whose work or who your work might have touched in some kind of way. It reached them, they had it right when they needed it. Your story, your life meant something to someone else. Because sometimes you're doing it in a vacuum, you know, you're doing it in this thing and you're like, oh, I wonder if it's gonna make sense to anyone. I think about like my Disney days or whatever, and I think about all the people who got to grow up with me. Like, I used to get a lot of college students like, when I'm scared in my dorm, like I put on, you know, the Disney show, and it's like I get to be the person that's like hanging out with you at night when you're scared in your dorm room, you know? So those kind of things make, I think, the job feel like you're not just doing something dumb, you know? That you're actually doing something.
Tu ne peux même pas imaginer ce qui t'attend.